Okay, in this example, we're going to discuss a binomial probability example. So the insurance company prices its tornado insurance using the following assumption, that in any calendar year there can be at most one tornado, so every year is one tornado. The probability of a tornado is 0.14 or 14%. And the number of tornadoes in any calendar year is independent of the number of tornadoes in any other calendar year. So notice here we have a few things, right? We know that it's independent events for each year. Okay? And we know that there's success or failure, right? So either there is a tornado in that year or not a tornado in that year, right? Great, and the probability seems to be fixed at 14% every year. It doesn't seem to change at all, right? And so that means that this is looking like and implies a binomial distribution, which is great. Okay, so using the insurance company assumptions, calculate the probability that there are fewer than 2 tornadoes in an 11-year period, and then round your answer to 4 decimal places. So fewer than 2 does that include 2? Right? Fewer, not at least, but fewer, right? Fewer than 2, let's be careful, it strictly means less than 2, right? It does not include the 2. And then the 11-year period, well, that's talking about the tornadoes. Remember, there's a tornado every year, so they're saying either 11 tornadoes or 11 years, right? Okay, so let's set this up. The probability that you have less than 2 tornadoes is equal to the probability you have no tornadoes or 1 tornado that year. Or this looks like the probability that x can be less than or equal to 1. And this is equal to the binomial CDF of NPX, right? So n is the number of tornadoes. I'm looking at 11. The probability I'm going to get a tornado each year is 0.14. And the number I'm looking at is less than or equal to 1. Go to your calculator and hit function. And again, this is Desmos, so it's a little different. If you're using a TI calculator, you can go to the distribution and select binomial CDF easily. In Desmos, it's just a little different. You just have to click binomial distribution off the distribution menu next to stats and hit binomial distribution. It says enter the trials and successive probabilities. So there was 11-year period, comma, 0.14 of the probability of success. And then it pops up find the cumulative probability. So then I check that. And I keep the minimum at 0, but change where my max I want it to be, again, fewer than 2 tornadoes, which is less than or equal to 1 tornado because it's discrete. So I'll put 1 in there. And then notice we get the probability of 0.5311. 5311. So the probability that there are fewer than 2 tornadoes in an 11-year period is 0.5311.